Okay, it's now recording. So maybe we should start off with your names. Okay. And feel free, we'll just cut it out later. So I have Mr. and Mrs. Bruno here. How is it that you heard about Cornerstone Dentistry?
Well, I think we searched out the information on our own based upon the fact that my wife had dentures at the time, and we knew dentures were the old technology and there had to be something far more effective and practical out there. So when it was made obvious to us after just a little bit of research that implants were the way to go for her for the future, we started then researching people who do implants. And after a considerable amount of research and initial visits with Dr. Nazeri and his Orange County group, that's how we finally made our decision. So,
okay. How was your initial visit, your first visit to the dental office? What was your experience during that initial consultation?
Well, I am, or was, terrified of a dental office. Terrified of all dentists.
Okay. Sorry, Mary, can we start off where, complete sentences? So you want to say, my experience or during my initial visit. Yeah. Thank you.
Go. Okay. During my initial visit, excuse me, you gotta stop. My nose.
It's okay.
I do. I don't do this well.
No, you're fine.
During my initial visit, I found the staff and everyone there to be absolutely warm, friendly, and helped me go over my nervousness.
Well, if I could add too, I think the most important thing we saw during that initial visit, from my opinion, was there was a professionalism that was not like anything we had seen anywhere else. There were people who specialized in implant dentistry, but they didn't, to my mind, do it with the same kind of completeness. This entire, from the 3D X-ray, CTs, all the way on through the discussions, and we were so impressed after that first visit that there was no question that in either one of our minds what we were going to do, just based upon the way the entire thing, from your first opinion when you walk in, when your first impressions when you walk into the office, right through the entire scope of that complete first visit. And I think the part that was very amazing to me also was she had understated that she had an absolute phobia about dentistry, such that it was almost unreasonable. And for some reason, from the very beginning, she felt a sense of ease about this. So I think that was also a big decider for me, because I knew we were going to have a nightmare with her having to get these implants done. Agree?
Agreed.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see here. For you, Mary, what kind of work exactly did you have done, and how was your overall experience?
My overall experience in Cornerstone Dentistry, I have to say, was absolutely unbelievable to me, because I had 11 implants, my whole mouth reconstructed, and I found out that I didn't realize that I didn't smile before. And once I had my mouth redone, the whole thing, I was a new person, totally a new person, and very, very happy with everything that was done, and again, the attention that was paid to me.
And my last question here is to both of you. Would you recommend us to any of your friends and family?
Well, if I can, I'll make the first statement because you had the work done. But what I would say is, without question, I think the proof is in the end quality. The proof is in the follow-up, the amount of follow-up that was done. And you know, when you hear the initial cost of this procedure from the very beginning, we were shocked. We knew it was going to be expensive. Well, that's all right. You can cut it out. They can cut it out if they want. We knew it was going to be very expensive, but we were really not prepared to understand the great amount of work that Mary was going to have done and the cost of it. But what isn't talked about in those initial costs is the amount of follow-up, the number of times that we were back to the office and the willingness for that office staff to see us on very little notice, to be willing to, I mean, you know, your first priority was taking care of us, and that was obvious from the start to the finish. That's what I would recommend them to anybody.
I would absolutely agree with that, and of course will recommend and have recommended. So it's just a wonderful experience.
And I want to add, if we didn't feel the way we're saying, believe me, we would not be here making this statement here today. But I can honestly say I don't have a single regret about everything that happened from the beginning through the end. We're totally satisfied with what happened and would encourage anybody who needed to have this work done to come to this organization to have it done. I always say Dr. Nazeri sets a tone that is a very high standard. I own a business and run a business myself, and this, of course, this is a medical practice, but it's also a business. And you have to blame the person at the very top, whether it's good or bad. He sets the tone for everybody else in the organization. And in this case, this guy has set a standard that is incredible. I knew that right from the beginning, and I mentioned that to him after our first visit. And he didn't let us down all the way through the whole procedure. And that was the case with every single person we dealt with.
A smile.